Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show, the HHW Show podcast presented by Clovercrest. Tune in to our website, hhwshow.com, for the latest episodes, news, and other rumors that's going on around wrestling. In this episode, we're going to talk about the face that's running Monday Night Raw and his speech that he said to his peer. We're also going to cover our Fantasy Survivor Series. We're going to change things up. We're going to go by generation. Who is the top five that we could choose as we get ready for this gauntlet match that's going to happen, and which generation is going to win the Fantasy Survivor Series? I got Frank and Hector. Guys, welcome aboard. And we'll start off with the hottest topic right now. Survivor Series is happening November 25th. And before we get there, this match that is going to be, I think, phenomenal right now is the 4-on-4 could be the main event between these guys right here. We have Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes versus the Judgment Day.
This is to me an all-star studded lineup here. You got one side where a lot of animosity happened in the past and now coming together to form an alliance versus an alliance that seems to be claiming that they're dominating, but are there cracks in the walls in their foundation?
I think those cracks will be identified at Survivor Series, guaranteed. But there's a lot of hate, a lot of I don't want to say frustration. It's not frustration when it comes to Seth Rollins, and I guess we call it the Rollins team. I guess I don't know.
Why not the Rhodes?
They gotta have a name, huh?
The Rhodes team or the
Is
Sami
it the
Zayn
Rhodes
team.
team? Yeah, whatever. I mean, regardless, other than the Judgment Day, I guess, um, they're eager to tear down the Judgment Day. And you can see it right there, especially Sami Zayn explaining about how he doesn't want another Bloodline 2.0 happening on Monday Night Raw. And we're going to get to that conversation shortly. But right now, I'm digging and I'm excited for War Games to be at the main event, the main roster, because it looks great in NXT, but now doing it here on the WWE platform, I'm loving it.
Oh yeah, it's going to be very exciting, in my opinion, to see these guys work together.
But I'm wondering, will they still have a traditional Survivor Series?
Why not bring
Why
it back?
not? I think they will. I think this is just something that's going to lead up to everything else, but I don't see why
Because
not.
correct me if I'm wrong. Last year it was the Bloodline, right, versus Kevin Owens. Who else? Who was in Kevin Owens' team? Now I got to remember back. Well, we'll get to back later. But yeah, out of all 8 of these superstars right here, only Sami Zayn and Jey Uso have experienced being in the ring for War Games.
Mm-hmm. And they were on the same side.
Exactly. Coincidentally, huh? This time, Sami Zayn doesn't have to worry about trying to be still friends with his frenemies. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? This time it's pure solid, like, all right, let's beat their asses real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm digging this one. Another match that's confirmed is the women's championship being defended. Rhea Ripley and Zoe Stark.
Yeah, you had to put somebody in there, right? I mean, when she had that fatal 5-way match,
Right.
it's like you had to pick somebody out of that coop, that chicken coop, in order to put against Rhea Ripley. And if this is Zoe Stark's time to shine, then so be it. I mean, just to be in the spotlight. That's it. That's all I
I
mean by
see
that.
Zoe Stark like LA Knight. Here's your spot, do something, and then now you get out the
Then
hell
lose
out.
and get out.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
far right now, those are the 2 locked matches for Survivor Series. More will probably happen than SmackDown. What War Games can we see? Or is it just only one? And could we see the female version of War Games? I'm really, really interested to see that outcome. Could we find out on SmackDown, or will we find out next week on Monday Night Raw? But let's turn the tables real quick and focus on Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. On the opening segment of Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins introduced Sami Zayn in the ring, and he publicly said thank you for what his actions he had done at Crown Jewels. And with that, and there's some notes, man, that I got to get out my chest, and that is Seth freaking Rollins says he is the man that runs Monday Night Raw, right? Monday Night Rollins, um, the face of WWE Raw, right? He demonstrated his leadership. He demonstrated an opportunist. You know, he always says the word opportunist, right? He's a visionary. He's the architect. He's a lot of things. But the one thing that he has proven to everybody is that Seth freaking Rollins is not selfish. Because if he did, he would have bragged about he is still the world heavyweight champion and move on and be like, who's the next contender, an open challenge, or whatever it is, you know. But he went beyond without letting no one know except for Adam Pearce, the new general manager of Raw, and pretty much said, I want a match with Sami Zayn for the world title. Right? That takes a lot of guts. What do you guys say?
That's a fighting champion, man. I don't think it takes guts. I just think it takes, he wants to make that belt prestigious. And how do you make a belt prestigious is by defending the title.
Amongst the other person that takes forever to defend the title, Roman Reigns, but you got a point there. Sami Zayn, the purpose why he did what he did was he just didn't want to see a Bloodline 2.0. He continues his fight. And the one thing that I also observed from Seth Rollins is that he pays attention. He paid attention to what Sami Zayn has done in his career. And lately, and he said he appreciates Sami Zayn because he stands up for what he believes in. He don't care if he's outnumbered 2-1, 3-1, 5-1, million to 1. It doesn't matter. He will continue to stand up for himself, stand up to what he believes in, to what's right. And that's why he was like, you know what? Not everybody gets a chance to get for the title. You don't need the Money in the Bank briefcase to get at me. Okay. But good guys, and really in reality, let's just put this in real perspective. Good guys don't get what they deserve. People that work hard and achieve what they believe in to do what they got to do, they don't get what they deserve. We continue to fight to get what we deserve, right? And most of the time, we're never going to get it. Can we relate to that?
Yeah.
Good guys finish last.
It always seems that way, that you're the one out there doing everything and somebody else takes the credit for it. I mean, Roman Reigns was the prime example for that, right? Sami Zayn was doing everything and Roman Reigns was getting the credit for it. Yeah, we could see that in our workplace, in real life. It's one of those things that it's sad, but it happens.
Absolutely. Um, he offered a chance to go for the World Heavyweight Championship, and he says, "Say when," and he decided to do it there on Monday Night Raw. And I'm glad that that match went from start to finish, and we'll get to the end later. But at first, Sami Zayn didn't want to, and his reason was because he wasn't. Seth Rollins wasn't 100%. But Rollins countered and said, "When were we ever 100%? So when in life are we not 100%?"
When in life are we not 100%?
Yeah, because technically we're never are 100%.
I don't think we are ever. I think maybe the only time that you might be 100% is when you first wake up in the morning, where you have nothing going on, but you just know you gotta wake up, you gotta go, you gotta use the bathroom, you gotta do your necessities, and then you're out the door. The minute you're out the door, that's it. the mind starts playing games because you got to deal with traffic, you got to deal with people, and you know what? You're no longer at 100% there.
You're 100% focused of cursing somebody else if they cut you off the road, huh?
Absolutely.
But you know what? Sometimes we're not at 100% when we get out of bed. Some of us are in pain, struggling to get out and doing their thing. You know what I mean? Like, you're right. You're absolutely. I think if you're 100% when you don't have any responsibilities, you don't, you're not in that level yet. And I'm talking about like being a newborn or being a baby or being a child, you
As a
know,
matter of fact, you said it as a newborn. You want to know why? You have
you don't
somebody that
learn.
feeds you. Okay, you have someone that changes your shitty diapers, your pee diapers, and they put you to sleep. All you do is sleep. All you do is eat,
Eat,
shit, and
sleep.
sleep. That's it.
It's true. It's damn true. You know. Um, but yeah, right now at especially our age, we're working, we're putting food on the table, where we got a home, we got the basic needs we got, and we still working hard for it, and no matter if we're healthy, no matter if we're sick, no matter what conditions we're in, we're never at 100%, and we still do it.
Oh yeah, and as long as you put forth the effort to do what you got to do, you don't have to be at 100%. I mean, you could be at 90 or 80%, whatever percentage that looks like in your life. But as
Mhm.
long as you're pushing forward and not going backwards, you're gonna have some setbacks. I get it, but you learn from those things and you just keep pushing forward, and that's gonna make you successful. As long as you have a passing grade, whatever that looks like in your book, you don't have to be at 100%.
And that's why Seth Rollins gave the opportunity to Sami Zayn, and when he responded, that Rollins got a little bit upset. And he, in reality, is that when are we are 100%? We're not. So, really, when someone's giving you the opportunity, you gotta take it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You gotta. For Sami Zayn, he come to a realization: when will be his next time to go after a world title? Because if you said no, not right now, somebody else is next in line to grab it. And
And
then
he,
if somebody else grabs it, guess what? It's your loss. And in real life, that really happens.
Yes.
it was a teachable moment for Sami Zayn to understand that if and when you ever become heavyweight champion, you're not going to be at 100%, and you still got to go out there and do what you got to do to defend that title
Absolutely,
to make a
because
name for
once
yourself.
you don't defend it, unless you're like Roman Reigns, then you get stripped from your title.
Unless your name is Roman Reigns. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know you
yeah,
said that. I just
yeah, yeah,
I just wanted to
yeah,
reiterate
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
He's not at
Uh-huh.
100%.
He's not.
I'm
He's not.
never at 100%. Never. Not even in my sleep.
Hey, so hey, I like the opening of Monday Night Raw. It's a lesson learned for anyone that's paid attention to that segment, and it was very important for us to do it here because the main idea, the main focus, the theme of our show is to get whatever has been mentioned on WWE, put it in our platform, talk about it, we learn from it, and we move on. And after this, you gain more knowledge, and that's the focus. That's the focal point of our show. And it really, when Seth Rollins started talking, I was like, oh, you know what? This is what I preach in my classroom. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that every other businesses and stuff like that, you know, if they have a leader should always tell their subordinates how to move up. When the opportunity comes, take it. Okay. Because you never know when you get it again. And when you do have it, embrace it, because if you take advantage of it, you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
Am I right?
It's almost like he told Sami
Absolutely.
Zayn not to feel sorry for him.
Yeah,
You know,
he did.
if you're waiting for me to heal to be at 100%, you're gonna be waiting forever.
Well, you know what, man? Moving on to the Fantasy Survivor Series. some of these guys are still hurting and they're no longer wrestling. But Hulk Hogan, he had a lot of back surgeries and stuff, and rumor is he's doing all right now. Um, CM Punk mentally not doing well because he still didn't get his ice cream bars. The Rock comes and goes. I don't know what's up with Roman Reigns. That's why he still needs assistance. And then there's John Cena, which my friend Hector will say, a thumb to the throat series. Move. All right. I mean, this guy, so, John Cena got punished. He got punished bad, man. And we're going to talk about generation by generation. So here we go. We'll start off with the original. All right. The original, the golden era. And the golden era consists of, and I chose this, these are my top 10 right here: Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, Tito Santana, Randy Macho Man Savage, Ricky Steamboat, Andre the Giant, Greg the Hammer Valentine, um, Paul Orndorff, the Ravishing Rick Rude, and Mr. Perfect. Those are the 10. And we're going to choose 5 of these superstars to represent the golden era once we start our gauntlet match. And I don't know. I mean, I didn't plan on who's going to go who first or what. Um, let's all agree for number 1. Who will be the number 1 pick out of this group?
I say Hogan.
I think Hogan has to be the choice, maybe the captain of this team.
I believe it. I mean, you watch Hulk Hogan, he was the face of WWE from the very beginning on the early 80s, right? And even when he left WWE to go to WCW, he shocked the world by becoming an enemy, right? And was the leader of the NWO.
Mm-hmm.
So rather you like him as the American Dream, or I just said what was that song? I forgot. It doesn't matter.
Like the
To
real
be the
American.
Hulkamania.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll say Hulk Hogan number 1 and be the captain of the team. So who will be his number 2? Hector.
I think Andre the Giant should be his number 2.
I applaud that pick.
I beg to differ. I mean, I think if it was anybody at number 2, I would pick Randy Macho Man Savage.
I disagree with you there. I think
There were tag teams before.
that's fine. There were tag teams before. That's great. Same thing with the Ultimate Warrior. There were tag teams too.
Were they a
Okay.
tag team? Ultimate Warrior
Yes.
and Hulk Hogan?
They tagged up once or twice. They did.
Yeah, but that's once or twice. I'm talking about these guys were actually tag teams that
That's
they had
fine.
those WrestleMania moments and everything else, and then the
That's
jealousy
fine.
kicked in. You know
Well,
what I mean?
That
Like,
happened with Hogan and Andre. They've teamed up before.
Yeah, I think I say Andre. Why? Why am I gonna say Andre the Giant? Right? I mean, Andre the Giant didn't really hold the title much, but he was a very dominant force. Well, I mean,
I think he brings that intimidation factor to this team.
okay, all right,
Because
I got it.
because I think moving forward, you're going to need somebody like him to try to counter whatever may be coming with the next couple of teams for the next generations.
All right, so we got Hulk Hogan. Okay, Andre the Giant. Who will be your third guy?
Frank,
I would say Macho Man.
I agree. I think Macho Man is a perfect fit to be the number 3 man there. I really do.
All right.
I mean, he's really good on the mic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. I'm digging it. I like. I mean, I had Andre the Giant as one of the top 5. I did have Randy Macho Man Savage and Hulk Hogan. But and you know what? All 3 are able to be good and bad. That's so unique, right?
Right.
And and we've seen it later down the road in WWE with Hulk Hogan, right? I mean, we saw that turn and twist with WCW,
Mhm.
but is there anyone else that could fit and get along with that character? Or is there anyone opposite to, because you know how WWE at times have a team that they will always clash with one another and force them to be in a team. Is there anyone particular that could match that with all three that's mentioned already?
Yeah, I believe there is, and I have a candidate that might fit well with them three.
Which is
Mr. Perfect.
Oh man, I was thinking about
wow.
Paul Orndorff.
Wow, I think we're all out of control there. I was gonna say Rick Rude. I mean,
Rick Rude was more of a pretty boy, right?
yeah,
I mean, he was always on his
either that
own.
or Greg the Hammer.
Nah, not grab that. Grab the Hammer wasn't really that guy up there. I mean, if anything, he will fight Tito Santana for the Intercontinental Championship, right? Uh,
Well, why
but
not?
I do
Why
like
not
I
Ultimate
do like
Warrior?
Mr. Perfect
No,
because of the fact that Mr. Perfect was always claiming he's always better than everybody, and
yeah,
Yeah,
he's always a perfectionist. Just put it that way. Yeah.
right. And I
Yeah.
think he brings that athleticism to the team, and he can show that off to someone like Hogan or Macho Man. Like, look, you can't do this. You need me to help win this team because I'm the one that's going to be the perfect survivor in this. And I think Hulk Hogan would agree to a certain point. Like, you know what? I may not like his style, but he does bring some kind of charisma to the team that can help us out. He hit you with that perfect plex. It's going to be hard to get out of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Orndorff Powell drives you, and you're definitely not getting out of that.
Paul Orndorff was he the power driver?
Yeah, he had the power driver. Yeah,
Yeah.
He had the power driver.
Well,
yeah.
could we say that he's number 5?
No, I will say you need the Ultimate Warrior on that team.
Oh no, you're out of control there. He's out of
Why?
control.
Why? Why?
He's
But you need somebody like that on a team that when things are going sour and he's out of control, he starts going.
yeah, but
Yeah,
then
but didn't Ricky Steamboat fly?
Ricky
What
He
is
was
Steamboat.
the dragon. Yes, he's a high. He is what he's considered the high flyer of that whole ten group
I think so.
because
Yeah,
he was a high flyer.
I would pick someone that's a high flyer. Someone that would jump off the ropes, fly high, stuff like that. I mean, look, you got the strength of Hulk Hogan.
hmm
Andre the Giant is the heavyweight. You have Randy Macho Man that could do. He's really diverse in that ring, right? Then you got the perfectionist, which has got the skills, the techniques, and everything else. Why not have someone who's dedicated to fly high like Ricky Steamboat?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree with that. His wrestling technician style is pretty sound, so I can go with that.
Took a little convincing, but I guess I'll go with that.
He is a former world heavyweight champion.
I think they're all former heavyweight
No,
champions.
no, 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 no. Mr. Hennig did not have the heavyweight championship.
Are you sure?
Not in the WWE.
Maybe in AWA or
Maybe,
NWA.
or WCW, I think.
I thought he
I
had.
know Rick Rude did.
Yeah,
Rick
Rick
Rude
Rude
was a
did.
world champion.
Yeah, but not in WWE though.
Rick Rude was the world heavyweight champion in WWE.
No, the world
Right.
heavyweight champion, not the WWE champion.
Well, back then there was only one champion. It
He
was
never
either
had.
that or Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, he was the Intercontinental champion, but he was never the WWE champion. Rick Rude
Hmm.
was never
I will
WWE.
tell
Do
you
we
right
have to
now.
do we
He
have
was
to get the
he was
red
Intercontinental
flag?
champion.
Let me
Yes,
see.
he was Intercontinental champion
Intercontinental. Yeah, he was Intercontinental champion.
because he even had it spray painted on his pants.
He had a lot of people spray painting in his pants.
But he never held that WWE title. I mean, he challenged Hogan for it a lot of times, and I think he even challenged the Warrior for it, but would never came up successful.
You're right.
Now
No,
he would have
no.
been great. He would have been great to be a champion though. in the WWE, but he had to find success in WCW, I think, as World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, he was the Intercontinental Champion. He was a WWE World Heavyweight. Yeah, he lost to the Ultimate Warrior for his chance to become the Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah,
And then he went to WCW.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he lost on SummerSlam 1990 in a steel cage match. So, all right. So we agree. Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Macho Man, Mr. Perfect, and Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
good with
we can
that.
do that.
All right. Let's switch to the next generation. And
Ooh.
you have Bret Hart, Razor Ramon, Lex Luger, Owen Hart, Kevin Nash as Diesel, Yokozuna, Jeff Jarrett, Bing Bam Bigelow, Earthquake, and Davey Boy Smith. Out of those 10 names, who is your top 5?
I say captain would be Bret Hart.
I agree
Yeah,
100%.
I agree.
The
I
excellence
agree.
of execution.
Bret Hart. And then I'll go even one further. Who else to trust more than your brother to be the number 2 man? Granted that they had their rivalries and everything else, but if they're at when it's said and done, I do believe that his brother will have his back, and the most trustworthy person will be Owen Hart.
I feel like Owen Hart wants to be that number 1 spot. I think he's jealous.
Which
He wants
works
to be the captain.
great. Ain't that great? Ain't that like the movie Thor? Right? His brother was always jealous.
But how you gonna be successful as a team to victory
You're
if you're
not.
jealous?
Right. For that, the number 2 should be Davey Boy Smith, which is, I believe, his brother-in-law, anyways.
Damn. And
You
they
want to
both
keep
fought too.
you want to keep it in the family, put him at number 2. But I think in this case, okay, you got to look at what's on the other side right now, right? You have Andre the Giant on the other side.
So you
He's
tell me Yokozuna will be the guy to stand up against Andre the Giant?
you're
He,
either looking at Yokozuna, Earthquake, or Bam Bam
no,
Bigelow.
Bam Bam would not stand against Andre. More, I think Yoko would be the better fit to stand against Andre the Giant if there was to come down to that.
Who's
Either
this?
that or Kevin Nash.
No, mm-mm.
You think Kevin Nash could go against Andre the Giant? I think so.
I don't think he'll have. I don't think he may have the height, but he don't have the power to stand toe to toe with Andre. I really think Yoko's going to be the one that Bret Hart would need on his team to counter an Andre the Giant.
Then we do Yokozuna.
Well, I tell you one. I can add 2 if you don't mind automatically. Razor Ramon and Diesel. I just don't see them either them 2 are together or those 2 are out.
Well, you can't beg favors because they work well together. I mean, I think
I
Razor
think
Ramon to me is a better in-ring wrestler than Diesel was.
Okay. Man, just imagine if those 2 had to like do an elimination match to qualify to be in the team. Am I right though? Like, man, that also been pretty cool to be like, all right, we should have just spin the wheel and have one of them pick one another. You know what I mean? Like, all right, Bret Hart versus Yokozuna or Jeff Jarrett. I'm gonna tell you right now, Jeff Jarrett will not be in the final 5. That's just me.
No, I don't. I'm not even. Wasn't even
So
getting.
he's eliminated. I say Bam
Who's
Bam
gone?
Bigelow's eliminated too.
All right.
Okay, I can go with that.
I mean,
Okay.
if we got Yokozuna, then we definitely don't need Quick either.
But
No,
the
we
other
don't.
person, Earthquake, so you 3.
We
But
don't
we
need it.
never mentioned Lex Luger. Lex Luger, he was
He's a strong guy.
yeah.
He's power.
That yeah, when he got you on his back,
On the torture rack.
you were done. Hey, big shout out to Sandro Arroyo Sanchez. He's the best wrestler in this pig. Is the best there is, the best there was, and the best that will ever will be. That's right. That is Bret Hart. We got him as the captain of this team. And it's interesting because this is a hard one, man. Like, Um, ah,
I, I
we
would
haven't
say
even made a decision who's the number 2 person.
I'm saying
Yokozuna.
I say Yokozuna's number 2.
I say, yeah, I agree. Yokozuna should be number 2.
All right, Yokozuna is the number 2 person.
Number
All right,
3, I would say Razor Ramon number 3, but if you're going to try to counter it with Diesel being part of a package deal, I don't agree with that.
all
I
right.
feel that
If you don't agree with him, then
Well,
we're
I
rated 3. So like Davey Boy Smith, Lex Luger, Owen Hart, and Jeff Jarrett. Well, no, not
look,
Jeff Jarrett. That
No.
you only got. If you
look.
don't include him, you might as well include
I
Owen Hart,
agree.
Davey Boy. But you're gonna keep it in the family though.
I agree with Ovi in the sense where you got Diesel and Razor Ramon. They got to go together. They come as a package, and I think them two added to this package make a real big difference. They already got the chemistry, and chemistry goes a long way with these guys.
So
In general.
let me add that too. If you put Diesel and Razor Ramon together, and you already have Yokozuna, then Davey Boy Smith should be with this group, and that'd be your top 5.
over Lex Luger.
Damn, that is.
Lex Luger
I
to me
would
is more stronger, is more powerful than Davy Boy Smith.
I will keep Luger, get rid of Davy Boy Smith. And your 5. Hart, Diesel, Ramon, Yokozuna, and Luger.
Because at this
That's
point,
your
we don't
5.
even know what team this is they're going up against.
You're right.
So that's the thing.
That's exactly what you thought.
Right.
Yeah. But since we want to compare to the older generation, right, the golden era, what would be a great matchup? It's like you always want to be better than the generation before, right?
Right.
So you got Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, during the Hulk Hogan era, Bret Hart was a tag team at the Hart Foundation.
Yeah.
Right. So then all of a sudden now Bret Hart is and if you remember, wasn't it the match in WrestleMania that Bret Hart lost to Yokozuna
and then Hogan beat him,
and then Hogan came out of nowhere?
Yeah,
that was a stab in the back though. But anyways,
suspect.
So yeah, that definitely now that I say it like that, yeah, Bret Hart and Yokozuna be together. That'd be a perfect match. Yeah, we'll just put Lex Luger in there. Lex Luger will match up against Randy Macho Man Savage.
Yeah, we could do that.
Who's the best technician there?
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart.
Who you got? Yokozuna and Andre the Giant, which I still think Andre the Giant probably has an advantage.
He has the height, but he doesn't necessarily have the weight advantage.
That dude will not slam him.
You don't need to slam him. You don't need to slam him. Just push his weight around and knock him off his feet.
Okay. And then who matches up against Ricky Steamboat?
You don't have anybody unless we put Owen Hart in there.
But you got
Ricky Steamboat is outmatched against any of these guys we put in there that we're naming, minus Owen Hart. Ricky Steamboat don't stand a chance. I mean, maybe Razor Ramon.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Put Ricky Steamboat against Razor Ramon. Luger could go against Randy Macho Man.
Well, yeah.
Or Mr. Perfect.
I think Lex Luger and Mr. Perfect be a good match.
All right, so let's put. Well, we got Luger in there, so we got Hart, Yokozuna, Lex Luger, Razor Ramon, and we need the 5th man.
Well, you said Diesel, right? Because he's going with the pack.
You want Diesel?
Yeah.
I'll agree to it, but I don't. I mean, I don't like.
He's gonna agree. Yeah, he's gonna agree reluctantly.
All right, one more, and then next week we'll finish the rest. All right. Now we got the Attitude Era. The Rock, Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Shane McMahon, Foley, Christian Edge, and Chris Jericho. Who is your top five? We'll start with the captain. Who is the number one leader in this one?
The Rock.
I say Stone Cold's the leader.
And then I will argue. Well, I wouldn't argue. Y2J will be like, well, I held the two belts. I was the first. And then you got Edge. Well, Edge and Christian during that time were actually transitioning to be singles competitor. And damn, yeah, it could be either or, but I think my gut would tell me Stone Cold will be the captain of this team. And I think The Rock would acknowledge that because when you look at WrestleMania 30, they brought Hulk Hogan out. And then the next guy that came in was Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then the next guy that came out was The Rock, and The Rock acknowledged them both. So
I think you're right. I think
I'll take. I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's try it out. One is the Stone Cold, and number two is The Rock. Can we say that's a clinch?
That's a clinch in my book.
Yeah.
All right, so we don't even have to bother like who's the number two. So we got Stone Cold. We have The Rock. Now our 3, 4, and 5.
For me, my 3 will be Edge.
For me, I will say Chris Jericho.
I say Mick Foley.
That's a crazy guy too. But
that's why.
Which Foley are we talking about?
That one right there. That's that Cactus Jack one.
He's not Cactus Jack in that picture.
That's his That's the Cactus Jack stuff. With that flannel shirt, that's the Cactus Jack. Mankind was a mask.
Right.
And you had Do Love with the little rainbows.
That picture looked like his retirement picture.
Yeah, it does. But I would take Mick Foley as the number 3 guy. You need that unstable character.
So let's backwards plan here. Let's make comparisons now. So, and I'm going back to the first generation where you have, all right, so you got The Rock and Stone Cold, which pretty much The Rock. We've seen The Rock versus Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Stone Cold could match up probably with Macho Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then he also could match up with Bret Hart. You know what I mean? But who would match up with Lex Luger in this one?
You have the technician,
Kurt Angle
of Kurt Angle.
I say Chris Benoit.
Bingo. I would.
I disagree, but I don't really.
Why not Chris Benoit?
Dude, I don't even think he should be mentioned in wrestling.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, yeah, I go into that. Yes, I go into that.
Look,
but
certain people have that mental state, but we already know on television, we've witnessed everything there, right? Like, we can't dismiss the accomplishments that was made, right, on the job.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, look,
I get it, but we're not saying that we're going to crown this guy to be a champion. We're just saying like we're going to make this team who was best in that era. You know what I mean? So out of these guys, again, it's like Chris Benoit was the best technician, but he didn't do it alone because you could also mention Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero in this group is a high flyer. All right, because he moved around a lot. I mean, I will go ahead and bite the bullet and say, okay, fine, Chris Benoit number 3. But now let's go to number 4. And that should be Eddie Guerrero as your high flyer.
I would say Shane O'Mac.
Edge high flies too.
Who?
Edge. He can high fly too. He's done it already. Look at that the event at WrestleMania 8 when he went ahead and what was it, that the tag team, right? And he went ahead and jumped off the ladder to spear Jeff Hardy. That's a high flying. What more can you get out of
Yeah,
that? Now
true.
we could add, we don't even have to fly. You can add chairs, you can add
You can make it a TLC
ladders,
match.
tables. I mean, what more can you get? I mean, I'm digging that.
I mean, I did say Edge already. You know, was one of my picks.
All right,
You know what? I'll say Edge too.
all
I'll
right.
put
Let's go
Edge.
with Edge.
But we still need 3 and 4. I mean 4 and 5.
Huh?
What do you mean?
We
I thought
got
We
Stone
need
Cold, The
5.
Rock, and Edge. We
thought
need
we
2
said
What
more.
happened to Chris Benoit?
I thought we said Benoit. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, nobody really confirmed it.
I did
Um,
confirm it. You just
yeah,
weren't paying
He
attention to what
said
I
he,
said.
he said he was going to go with it.
All
I
right,
said
Chris
let's.
Benoit.
I said let's go with Chris Benoit number 3, and then I said moving on. Let's go to number 4, and I said Eddie
So
Guerrero,
who's your last one on this one?
Mick Foley. You need that crazy mindset.
I think
I
Frank
think Chris
is,
Jericho.
I think Frank is right because there's no big man in this scenario here to match up with Diesel or Yokozuna or Andre the Giant. You need somebody who's not stable in their brain, but still mentally capable to work with the team. That's why we didn't pick Ultimate Warrior because he just goes loose, screw loose everywhere. At least Mick Foley has his screws. It may not be screwed, but he has them. Ultimate Warrior don't have them. I think Mick Foley could be an asset to this team to maybe get Sako into Yokozuna's mouth or something crazy that way.
And remember, The Rock and
Sock connection.
Connection. There you go. Yes.
Yes, we
There you
got
go.
it. And Stone Cold would be
All
like,
right.
what?
And look, and the only thing you get with Chris Jericho is a freaking list. So you know what? Move
Well,
on.
he didn't do the list in this era. And he was a lot bigger, right? And he had longer hair. And he did win both world titles. Just saying.
I don't care.
Just saying. Well, we're gonna stop right there with just the first three rounds, the first 3 generations. Next week, we'll finalize the rest. We have 4 more that we need to go to, and then we'll determine as to which gauntlet match, who's the first 2 to go at it, and in sequence all the way to the end as to what we're gonna go for here on our fantasy Survivor Series. So that's pretty interesting. Not what I had imagined on the picks, but that's why I like it when we start talking about it. We see things differently, right? I mean, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I mean, we still got the era where we had the evolution, right? We haven't talked about that, the PG era, or even the current era that's happening right now. So there's plenty of superstars to talk about, and we'll get to that next week on our HHW Show podcast. Thanks, guys. It's been awesome, and I know we got a lot more to talk about. And the question, and we're gonna continue with the question: who is the greatest superstar of all time? That will be a continuation. We'll start it up next week, but we're gonna continue all the way through and see what do you guys think who is the greatest of all time. We heard the announcer with John Cena. Hector believes different. Frank has another opinion.
Andre the Giant, baby.
Oh, get the hell out
Yeah.
of here. Yeah, get out
But
of
yeah,
here.
for our listening viewers, give us your credentials of what makes a superstar the greatest.
Yeah.
Is it a streak? Is it amount of titles? Is it longevity? Is it popularity? What is it? What makes it? Is it a combination of everything? Is there a superstar that has it all that we're not seeing? We'll see.
We'll see. Oh man, this is gonna be great. I mean, I planned this And again, everything kept changing, but now that we executed, we changed it on the fly, and
Mm,
it's getting better and better. I like it. I like it.
yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thank
Yes,
you very
sir.
much. All right, that wraps up our show, the HHW Show podcast. And one more time, man, if you have that opportunity in life to do something positive and it's standing right in front of you, take it. Don't let it waste. Don't let it go away, because you never know the next time it'll come to you. I'm Obi-Wan. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Hector. Until next week, thank you for watching the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show.